You have a 12-year-old little girl that lost her life brutally, and President Biden chose a child killer defendant over the life of the child. And I couldn't be more disgusted with what he did.
Well, a convicted killer could potentially face the death penalty in Louisiana following a grand jury indictment handed down in Catahoula Parish. Today, I spoke with the Catahoula District Attorney on the case and what's next after the indictment.
President Biden chose a child killer defendant over the life of the child. And I couldn't be more disgusted with what he did.
On April 14th, a Catahoula Parish grand jury indicted Thomas Stephen Sanders on a state charge of first-degree murder. That's according to Catahoula Parish District Attorney Brad Burget, who says at least 9 of the 12 grand jury members concurred to make a decision on the indictment of Sanders. Sanders was put on death row back in September of 2014 for the 2010 kidnapping and murder of 12-year-old Lexus Roberts of Las Vegas. Following a 4-year trial, Sanders was sentenced to death by a jury at Alexandria's federal courthouse. Sanders admitted to kidnapping and then killing Roberts in Catahoula Parish near Harrisonburg after murdering her mother in Arizona.
Also, the jury in Catahoula will first determine whether or not Mr. Sanders is guilty of first-degree murder. And if they choose to find him guilty of first-degree murder, then it will move to a penalty phase, and the jury will hear aggravating and also mitigating circumstances. And based on that, they'll have to make the decision whether or not it's a life imprisonment or the death penalty.
Sanders was on federal death row until then-President Joe Biden commuted his sentence in December 2024, along with 36 other inmates who were on death row through the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
And I couldn't disagree with him more. I think it just victimizes the family once again to go through the ordeal of having a trial and reliving this horrible event that happened to them. And also, it just disrespects the victim.
Sanders is currently at the United States Penitentiary in Terre Haute, Indiana. Burget is pushing for Sanders' extradition back to Louisiana.
The brutal nature of what he did, the fact that he was engaged in a second-degree kidnapping of the child, and also the fact that he killed more than one person or had the intent to kill more than one person and did so, I think those would be extreme aggravating circumstances when a Catahoula Parish jury would certainly consider the death penalty.
And in a statement, Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill said, quote, "Thank you, District Attorney Brad Burget, for seeking this indictment. I look forward to providing whatever assistance he needs," end quotes.